All right, guys. So today I'm going to be talking about experience that was very impactful. It was amazing, magical, anything you can use to describe amazing. And that is the Camino de Santiago. So a little bit of background on myself and the Camino. I am 23 years old. I did the Camino in April of 2022. I did it alone and I did the last 100 kilometers. So I started from Valença, Portugal, and I walked from there to Santiago de Compostela, Spain. Sorry, I forgot the name for a second. And I did it over the span of about 6 to 7 days. So my purpose for making this video is to just have a really short, concise introduction and just tips and tricks into the Camino, things that I think are really, really, really important that you should know. I think it's really easy to get information overload when you're doing something like this. And so I just wanted to, bare bones, tips, tricks, words of wisdom. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. So I think the first thing to touch on when you're talking about the Camino is the passport or the credential. If you have done any research about the Camino up until this point, you would have probably heard about this. If you are unsure of what it is, the credential is basically something, it's like a sheet of paper that you can buy from your starting point, your city that you were starting the walk on. And it basically, when you make to certain checkpoints, they will stamp it. And it is your proof that you have made it to these certain points of the Camino. So I'm actually going to tell you guys a little secret. I never got my credential. I, in true Kira fashion, waited until the last minute, and long story short, things just didn't work out. So I ended up with this bad boy that I made myself. So basically, this is my travel journal, and in it, I used it very similar to the way you would use the passport. When I made it to a checkpoint, I would get the stamp, but I went a little step further and I drew in it. I wrote about my day in it, and I just really personalized it. And I honestly, personally liked it better. As I mentioned before, I did the Camino solo, and I had a lot of free time on my hands, and it was just a really good creative outlet while I was there doing the walk, and I really enjoyed it. So you can get the official passport, or you can do something like this. Okay, so next I think is really important to touch on is the path you are going to take and the places you are going to stay. So with the Camino de Santiago, there are different paths you can take. You can take the Camino Frances, you can take the Camino Portugues like I did. You can do the northern way, I think it is called. There's a coastal way. There's so many different ways you can take, starting from different points. And while you are going on whatever path you are going, there are different places you can stay. You can stay in hotels. You can stay in Airbnbs, I think. I don't know if you'll find any, but the option most pilgrims tend to choose are albergues. And albergues are basically hostels, but they are only for pilgrims. So there are these houses, different communities on the walk that you can take. I'm not going to go very, very, very in depth on this in this video, just because I have actually discovered a really good resource that you can use that goes really in depth about this. It tells you all the different trails you can take, why they might be good for you, the nature you'll see, the scenery. It even has albergues that you can stay on, or different options that you can stay on while you're on these different trails. Really, really, really useful. And I'm going to link it below. That is why I'm not going to go into in depth in it, because I think that this resource can explain it way better than I ever could. But just know there's different trails you can take that start in different places, and there are places you can stay along the way called albergues. So moving on from where you can stay and which trail to take, I think it is really important and a great segue to talking about first aid. Guys, you are going to be walking at least 15 kilometers a day usually. Please take care of yourselves. I would say at the bare minimum that I had Vaseline and Band-Aids. bare minimum, guys, please. Vaseline is great because if you are, I'm barefoot right now, but say I had a blister right here, I would just put some Vaseline on there and it would stop the friction between my socks or whatever I'm wearing and my foot to stop that blister in its tracks. In terms of Band-Aids, same thing. If I feel a blister starting to come or if I already have a blister, put it on, and you can also put Vaseline on as well, and stops it in its tracks. Great resource. Definitely need, guys. Definitely. And also with that, just a little side note, please, 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 do not go on the Camino in shoes that you have not broken in. I will repeat, do not go on the Camino in shoes that you have not broken in. That might be one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made in your life. I personally did not do that, but just in case you were thinking about it, don't do it. Cost. I think cost is really important. In terms of the Camino, I will go ahead and say that my cost was very different than what a lot of people would have paid. Reasoning being, I was based in Spain at the time that I decided to go. I was living in Madrid, Spain, so my cost was a lot cheaper than others would have had to pay if they were coming from out of the country, okay? I would say total, I can't remember, it was a few months ago. I really personally cannot remember, but I would say probably total, I spent about 400 euros on the whole trip for myself. That was over a span of about 7 days, and that was me leaving from Madrid, Spain, okay? So I am not going to go too much into this either. Going back to the resource that I provided, also has a great structure for breaking down your budget and everything that you should consider when doing that. But just a short list here, I'll put it here. You should be considering lodging, flights, meals, souvenirs. Yeah. I would say that's good for right now. Yeah. Once again, like I said, resource down below, life-changing. And I think the very last thing that I want to say is, honestly, guys, it's the Camino de Santiago. Have fun. You are going on a trek that could change the way you live your life. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that, it could change the way you live your life. Whether you choose to go on solo or you choose to go with friends, it is a beautiful experience, and I think just don't think too much about it. I really overthought before I decided to go, and literally about a week before I was like, you know what, I'm doing it. And guys, I don't regret it at all. So just consider the things that I've mentioned. Hopefully this video was helpful at least a little bit, even if it wasn't. That link that I'm going to put below, chef's kiss, guys. But yeah, hope this video was helpful. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to make some more Camino de Santiago related videos, so let me know what you guys would like to see. And yeah, oh, there's a bug. Oh, that's a bee. Hello, bud. Oh, a yellow jacket has landed on me, guys. Okay, we're exiting this video. Kiss. Have a great day, guys. Bye.